Friendship and Joy with still just me, Karen, today. I wanted to show you a nifty little way to do an cast on or a bind off. It's called the Icord cast on and the Icord bind off. And it creates a rolled little hem or edge line, which is quite nice for a neckline or at the bottom of a sweater, or you could also use it as a bind off for a shawl or for a blanket, and it creates a little bit of extra weight at the bottom of the fabric and nice rolled edge. Usually when you do an I-cord, you cast on with 3 stitches, but you can also, if you, depending on how thick you want that little roll, you can make it 5 stitches too. It looks pretty nice. And I'm going to show you how to make that today. Okay, so in order to make an I-cord cast on, you cast on double pointed needles or circular needles, 3 to 5 stitches. I'm going to demonstrate to do a 3 stitch I-cord. Just like so. And then you knit those 3 stitches. Just like normal. There we go. There we go. So you knit those 3. Instead of turning the work, you just slide it back to the beginning again so that the working yarn is now on the inside stitch, and that is what's going to create the twist in the I-cord. So you will now repeat this process for the same amount of stitches that you need for your project. So I'm just gonna keep going here and do maybe 18 or so. Knit the 3 stitches, slide back to the beginning, knit 3 stitches, slide back. So when you have the amount of stitches that you want, tug your cord a little bit, and you can see you have a nice round cord here. Now instead of sliding it back, now it's time to pick up your stitches. And so you turn your I-cord this way, and you look for the edge, the rolled edge. You can sometimes flatten it out a little bit here on the top part, and you just begin to pick up your stitches along the edge of the cord. Now this could be either knitted flat back and forth after, if it's going to be the bottom of something, but you could also join it in the round. And when you join it in the round, you will end up with a little bit of a gap in the actual I-cord, but that's not a problem. You can always stitch that together at the very end of when you're finished knitting. So just pick up your X amount of stitches that the pattern calls for, and you are now, let me see, it's important to get the right stitch here. There we go. There we go. And you now have a nice rolled little cast on. So if you are going to have a rolled edge on the sides of your work as well, then you can do the I-cord edge by always knit your first 3 edge stitches, and then you either knit or purl your whatever pattern you have in between. I'm just going to do a plain stockinette, so I'm just going to purl my way over to the very last 3 stitches, and here we are. And then when you get to your, one more, sorry, when you get to your last 3 stitches, you bring the yarn to the front and you slip the stitches purlwise, and that will now be your rolled edge. When you turn your work, you have your working yarn on the 3rd stitch in here, and you just knit those 3 as normal, and that will curve your edge a little bit. And then you continue knitting your whatever pattern you may have. In my case, it's just plain stockinette stitch to the last 3 stitches. And then you slip them purlwise with the yarn in front, just like so. And then you keep going. Back and forth this way. So knit your 3 in the beginning and slip the last 3 purlwise with the yarn in front, and you will end up with a rolled edge on the sides. So now in order to cast off, you have your, if you're working on a 3-stitch I-cord, you will knit 1 and then 2, and the 3rd stitch you will knit together with the next one that you're going to bind off, and you knit them through the back loop, like so. Then you transferred your 3 stitches over to the left needle again, and you repeat the process. 1, 2, and knit the 3rd one together with the next one on the work through the back loop, and transfer the stitches back to the left needle all the way until you have bound off all the stitches on your work. There's nothing more to it. It's quite easy. You just have to remember to use double pointed needles, either the circular needle or shorter double pointed needles, depending on the size of your project. But yeah, that's it, and you end up with a very polished look to the finished garment. Speaking of finished garments, I just wanted to show you my Soldotna that I finished. I am very pleased with how this turned out. Nice and summery. I told you that I was gonna be keen on making another one pretty soon, so of course I've already cast on for my Soldotna number 2. The color variation on this particular one is not necessarily the most exciting, but I think it's going to turn out to be pretty nice as well. So I'm going for the gray, and then the white part here will be the body with the blue and the yellow in the little dots. So yeah, this is going to be my Swedish top, the blue and yellow Swedish top. So it is a very fun knit. It was very quick. This one I think I finished in a week, so it goes pretty quick to knit this one. I did make the body a tiny bit longer, but not as long as I would want to. I ran out of this robin's egg yarn, so this one I do have more of the white yarn. I've decided to make the body just a little bit longer. I have the extra white yarn, so why not? I'm just gonna go for it. I can highly recommend this. It's a fun knit. That's pretty much it for today. Just a little quick one. Until next time, take care. Bye.